You have approximately 27,375 days to live. That sounds like a lot, until you realize you've already spent thousands of them on things you can't even remember. The Netflix binges, the pointless arguments, the hours scrolling through other people's highlight reels while your own life quietly waited. Here's the truth nobody tells you when you're young. Life isn't just short. Life is quietly short. It doesn't scream at you. It doesn't send a warning. It just passes, slowly at first, then all at once. And one day you look up and think, where did it go? Today we're not here to scare you. We're here to wake you up, because there's still time, but only if you start spending it wisely right now. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why most young people waste their best years without even realizing it, and the psychology behind why we do it, and most importantly, how to stop. By the end of this video, you'll see time completely differently, and that shift, it might be the most important thing that ever happens to you. Let's go. Here's the first way people waste their life without knowing it. They live in a place called later. Later I'll start working out. Later I'll fix that relationship. Later I'll chase that dream. Later I'll be happy. But here's what psychology tells us about this. There's something called present bias. It's a real psychological phenomenon where your brain values right now more than the future. So your brain will always choose comfort today over growth tomorrow, unless you fight it. And here's what makes it dangerous for young people specifically. You feel like you have time. You're 20. You're 25. You're 28. You feel invincible, immortal almost. But researchers at Harvard found that most people don't realize how fast time moves until they hit their mid-30s. By then, later has already eaten 10 years. Later is not a plan. Later is where dreams go to die quietly. The fix? Replace later with a date. Don't say, I'll start my business later. Say, I will take one step toward my business this Friday at 7 p.m. Specific. Real. Dated. That's how you escape the trap of later. Here's something that will hit different. You would never take your rent money and just throw it in the street. But every single day, people throw away something more valuable than money. They throw away hours. Psychology calls this attention residue. Every time you mindlessly scroll, every time you do something that adds zero value to your life, your brain doesn't fully recover. It leaves a residue, a fog. That makes everything else harder. So let me ask you something uncomfortable. Pull up your phone's screen time right now. Go ahead. How many hours did you spend on social media this week? How many hours did you spend on your goals? Most people spend 4 to 6 hours a day on their phones. That's 28 to 42 hours a week. That's basically a full-time job, working for nothing. Now imagine if you took just one of those hours every day and invested it in yourself. Learning a skill, building something, working on your health. In 1 year, that's 365 hours of pure growth. In 5 years, you'd be unrecognizable. Time spent wisely doesn't feel exciting in the moment, but it compounds, just like money in a bank account, except what you're building is a life. Now let's talk about something people don't discuss enough. Who you spend your time with determines who you become. There's a concept in psychology called social contagion. Your behaviors, your mindset, even your emotions are contagious, and so are the people around you. Jim Rohn said it famously. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And this hits hard for young adults because this is the season where you're still choosing your circle. Some people in your life are rocket fuel. They challenge you. They push you. They make you better just by being around them. And some people are anchors. They're not bad people, but every conversation drains you. Every hangout pulls you backward. Every interaction plants seeds of doubt. Here's the hard truth. You can love someone and still limit the time you spend with them, because your time is your life, and your life is too short to spend it shrinking for people who are uncomfortable with your growth. Protect your circle. Build it intentionally, because the people around you are quietly shaping who you're becoming every single day. Here's a weird one, and it's going to make you think. We live in a generation that is obsessed with documenting life instead of actually living it. You go to a concert and spend half the time recording it for Instagram. You eat a beautiful meal and spend 10 minutes getting the perfect shot. You travel somewhere incredible and see it through a 6-inch screen. Psychologists call this the photo-taking impairment effect. Studies show that when you photograph an experience instead of being present in it, you actually remember it less. You were there, but you weren't really there. And here's the deeper issue. When you perform your life for other people, you stop actually living it for yourself. Life is short, too short to spend it performing. Put the phone down sometimes. Eat the meal. Feel the moment. Behind your life, not just documenting it for people who honestly weren't even thinking about you. Now here's the most powerful thing I'm going to tell you today, and it comes from Jeff Bezos. Before he built Amazon, he used a mental model called the regret minimization framework. Here's how it works. He imagined himself at 80 years old, sitting in a rocking chair, looking back at his life, and he asked himself one question. Will I regret not doing this? Now will it be easy? Now will people judge me? Now will I fail? Just will 80-year-old me wish I had tried? And for most of the things that matter in life, the answer is yes. You will regret the risks you didn't take. You will regret the words you never said. You will regret the dreams you buried because you were scared of what people might think. Studies on elderly people consistently show the same thing. The number one regret people have at the end of life is not the things they did. It's the things they didn't do. They didn't start the business. They didn't tell that person how they felt. They didn't bet on themselves. So use the framework. When you're standing at a crossroads, close your eyes. Fast forward 50 years. Ask old you what to do. Old you always knows. Look, I know life gets heavy sometimes. I know there are days where you feel stuck, where it feels like you're running but going nowhere, where the gap between who you are and who you want to be feels impossible. But here's what I need you to hear. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not broken. You are young. You have energy. You have time. Not infinite time, but enough time. Enough time to fix what's broken. Enough time to build what you've been dreaming about. Enough time to become someone you're actually proud of. But only if you start treating your time like it matters. Because it does. Every single hour of it. The people who look back on their lives with peace and pride aren't the ones who had the most talent. They're not the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who decided early that their time was sacred. They guarded it. They invested it. They spent it on things that actually mattered. And that's a decision, not a gift, not luck. A decision you can make right now, today, in this moment. But only if you start treating your time like it matters. Because it does. Every single hour of it. The people who look back on their lives with peace and pride aren't the ones who had the most talent. They're not the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who decided early that their time was sacred. They guarded it. They invested it. They spent it on things that actually mattered. And that's a decision, not a gift, not luck. A decision you can make right now, today, in this moment. So here's your reminder for today. Life is short, not in a scary way, in a get-moving way. Number 1, stop living in later. Give your dreams a date. Number 2, audit where your hours actually go. You might be shocked. Number 3, protect your circle. The wrong people will quietly steal your years. Number 4, be present in your own life. Stop performing it for others. Number 5, use the regret minimization framework. Ask old you what to do. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need the perfect moment. You just need to decide that your time is worth protecting. And then protect it like your life depends on it. Because honestly, it does. If this video hits something inside you, don't just keep scrolling. Share it with one person who needs to hear this today. Subscribe to The Unshaken Mind because we drop content like this frequently. Real, raw, and built to make you think differently. And comment below, what's one thing you're going to stop wasting time on starting today? I read every single comment. Until next time, stay unshaken.